Hello everyone, welcome back to Prince and Nikki's channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today's video we're going to talk to you about how to ensure you secure your land in preparation for your building. Before we go any further, I just want to give our foreman Mike a great shout out for the fantastic work that he's doing on the recent projects, particularly Lashibi. He's doing fantastic work. The speed and workmanship is fantastic, so I just want to give him a shout out. I want to thank you all for your support and thank you for watching the video, subscribing and continuing to comment and share the video. We do see a lot of you sharing the video, particularly through WhatsApp, so thank you for sharing that and helping us to reach a wider audience. So for many of you, you may think, why do we need to be told how to build a fence wall or secure our land? But I think that for many of you out there, particularly those who are planning on coming to Ghana for the first time or building and purchasing land, it's really important to understand how it works on the ground there. So I thought I'd put together this video on the fence wall, just to give you some understanding of the considerations that you might have for your own project. So the first thing is, once you've bought the land, you need to make sure that you're securing the land, making sure that people are not able to enter the property that you've purchased, and start developing on that. So it sounds crazy, but it happens. People do build on other people's lands, on plots, and take over and encroach. So it's really important to understand that even if you build a small wall around the plot that you have, it just gives you some sense of security as well, and make people aware that you're actually building on the plot. Before you start thinking about the purchase of land, I just want to make a note for people who are at that stage in this process. If you're thinking about purchasing land, what I would encourage you to do is make sure that the seller is the fully registered owner. If you can do a land search to check for ownership, that would be the most priority for you at that stage. Once you've completed your searches and you're happy that the person selling the land has full ownership of the land, you can then proceed to purchase. Once you've purchased the land, they will give you an indenture which has a site plan and barcode on there. That's what you're going to have as your proof of purchase, but also you use this indenture and you use that to go and do the land registration with the Land Commission. This can take some time, but if you start the process, at least you're making sure that your land is going to be fully registered with the right people. The third and final point that I'd like to make is, once you have your architectural drawings done and you're ready to think about building, before you start even building, what you need to do is make sure that you've applied to the local area that you're building for a building permit. This just cuts out any challenges and problems when people come from the local area to your site and say that you don't have a building permit. Just make sure that you've got the application in, and that will stop you from having problems later down the line. One thing you should know is, if you put a fence wall up before applying for a building permit, they do give you a charge for putting that wall up beforehand. So just make sure you do that in the right order. But moving on to the fence wall, there are a number of options that you have just to make sure that you have something to secure your land. One of the options that people use is to do what we call a dwarf wall. So as you see on the image here, this is the option that we chose when we started building our own project. So we did a dwarf wall, which is approximately 4 courses above ground. And this is just to give something around the land to show people that we're actively building and not to encroach on the land. This is obviously financially better for people that want to save money. And also, if you're not sure about kind of the fence wall that you want to have, or the alignment of your gate and things, it just stops you moving things and knocking around. So we chose to go for this option, and as you can see, that's how we've proceeded with ours. You have another option. You can put small building on the land as well. Some people do choose to do a small building on the land as well, in addition to a wall or a dwarf wall. This is just to show that there's actually building works going on there. Alternatively, you can go ahead and do a full height wall as well, if you're very clear on what you want in terms of the layout and design of your plot that you have. If you have passed this stage already, comment below and let other people know what you chose to do and the pros and cons. Let people learn from your own experience. So drop a comment below and let people understand what your views are and what your experiences are. Thank you for sticking with us, guys. If you've not already subscribed, do hit the subscribe button and help us continue to grow and share the knowledge that we have. When you're doing your wall, there are a number of materials that you will need to use. Once you've got an estimate, you will use sand, cement, blocks, iron rods, plus your workmanship. So those are the basic materials that you will need. If you do want any support or guidance, do get in touch with us and we can help you to understand how you can start with the planning and preparation to secure your land. It's one of the most important things that you do in this process. All of this early stages, as we've said in our previous video about the different stages of construction, fall under the pre-construction phase, where you're securing your land, your registration, and you're getting estimates for the fence walls and looking at your design consultancy. So if there's anything that you want to talk to us about in terms of the pre-construction phase, do hit us up on the email or the telephone numbers on the screen. I do also encourage you all, as we've also previously said, that knowledge is power. So anyone who is thinking about building or in the building process, do go and seek your own knowledge through the Ghana Building Code. Know what's in there and what you should be building to, the regulations. Don't let anyone tell you how to build without checking that yourself. And the last thing I would want to say and mention to you is that there are a number of considerations that you need to think about when you're doing this. Just think about the access to your land and how you're going to get the materials. Have discussions with the foreman that you have to think about getting the materials to site. Some particular lands, mountainous lands, slope lands, they may be that there are requirements for reinforcement, so that would change the plan around your fence wall to make sure that it's withstands time and that it's strong. There is also consideration for erosion. If you're in mountainous areas, obviously there's a lot of water and things, so you need to consider that. It's very important that you get the correct workmanship for any building works, but particularly with your fence wall. You know, you can see examples where there's been poor workmanship on wall constructions where you have cracks. Mostly when you have cracks, it's often to do with the way it's been done, that the foundation hasn't been dug enough. So just have a think about those things and make sure you have the right requirements and what you want for your fence wall. If you do have any questions, do hit us up, and thank you for watching today and listening. Help others, share your knowledge in the comments if you've already done this. If you haven't already subscribed, do give a subscribe and share the video. Thank you for watching today. Take care. Bye-bye.